Hey guys, so it's Matt here from On Guard. This is my buddy Owen. We're going to talk about an outside heel hook and some of the mechanics that can make it very effective and some of the problems you're going to run into. Okay, so I got my partner here. I got to make sure that I first place a wedge behind his calf, so I draw my knee into my chest. Don't just throw your leg up and over. Try to really bring this knee to your chest, because now when he tries to pull his leg out, it's my body and my my quad that are keeping his legs stuck. Okay, and then when I reap him, I make sure that I don't leave. I really don't want to leave a giant space here. Some people fire their foot over, but they leave a big space. So what happens is he can slip his knee through. I make sure when I do this that I turn my hips down and start back heeling and trying to steal that space as much as possible. All right, and then as we turn our knees down, his heel is going to become exposed. So also don't try and dig from this position. Really focus on getting your knees to the floor. Keep in mind his spinning escape is going to rely on him spinning quicker than me. So for example, if he goes to spin out, we're here, spin. Look, he got out. Okay, but I know that that's what he wants to do. So as I fire my leg up and over, I steal the space. I go and I immediately turn my knees down. Okay. So my knees are going to spin quicker than his knees. So another thing is the position of my spine. I want to keep knees close to my body as we roll. I'm going to be rolling over my forehead like so. Right? And I'm not going to post my hands on the floor, because if I post my hands on the floor, it means that I just have to join my hands on the other side. And it's going to slow down my rotation. So ideally, I'd like to connect my hands before we roll and finish on the other side with connected hands. So I'm here, I off balanced him and his head is facing away. I extend and I back heel, okay? You could triangle if you can early, but if you do, you've got to keep your foot close to the guy, because otherwise he could go and counter you with toe holds and things like this. Is no good. Okay, so let's say my leg is on the inside, which is fine, I pull my knees to my chest. This is one of the biggest things I can do that will help prevent him from slipping his knee out. Because now when he tries to pull his knee out, I'm using my entire body to keep him here, and as we roll, I just lock in almost like a false grip, okay? Not a false grip, but in the wrist, and then making an X and pulling up through my skull, right? So again, as I bring my knees to my chest, I'm always looking to bring my nose to my hands and my hands to my nose. Always pulling high, okay? So we get here, I get my dig, and to initiate the roll, I'm turning my knees down and I'm pulling high. I lock my hands. As we roll, my knees stay tight, and then my foot comes out and we finish right here. So as we finish, my hips are off the floor to generate the most power, right? Like I don't want to roll all the way through, because then it gives him movement and it also takes away my weight on his leg. I want to use the ground as a wedge and face down. Then I take my right elbow and I bring my right elbow into his butt to push his toes in, and I drop my top knee down, okay? I'll show it from another angle too. So here, let's go on this side, but this time, we'll do this. So I'm here like this. I can off balance him in a variety of ways. Maybe I extend him this way, his hand is over there. Or I can even use my other leg to make him take that step. I pull my knee to my chest, and then I immediately start turning his knees down and pulling my knees to my chest here like so. I take my dig, and then as we roll, I'm pulling high. We're going, and then my legs just lock here and I'm facing down. So as we do this, I pull my hands to my nose and my nose to my hands. I compress everything. So I'm not going to do this where my hands come away from my face and now I'm out of range of motion and I can't break him anymore. I'm going to pull everything in and focus on dropping my lat down on his toes. And ideally, it's very tight right now, but the range of motion would look like so. I'd be here and I'd compress and pull high, and I'd come up on my elbow. My elbow doesn't move. So try to get away from this stuff where the elbow can now move around underneath your body. Try and keep your elbow planted. You come up and look over the corner like so. Okay, so here, standing, let's do this one. Let's face this way. So here, I managed to, whatever, I went 1, 2, off balance them, pulling my knees to my chest, and I'm pushing down on his toes to try and wrap his leg around my leg. And compressing my spine like this also helps me with this. Now I lock my hands, we roll, I lock my legs, and I'm facing down. I push down on his toes, I push my hips into his hips, And as I pull up, I'm also pinching my knees together to create an opposing wedge. Okay, so here, how are we going to do this? I extend them away, here like this, my leg comes out, and now everything is tight. You see I'm on my forehead, I'm not out here extended. I want to keep everything nice and tight, pinch my knees together, and pull the heel as I push his toes down using my lat. So just remember this rule here. We're trying to dig for heel hooks. Make sure that your knees are perpendicular. Try not to dig when the knees are facing up, because now I'm trying to go for my outside heel hook. He's hiding, and there's nothing there, right? Whereas if I could turn my hips down and face perpendicular to his knee, now there's just so much heel exposure here, I can finish very strong. So I want to finish in that position. So if you had an outside heel hook dig and your legs look like this, a lot of the time the knees will face up. He'll turn his knee out and hide his heel, and you'll find you can't finish, guys. So just swish your legs like so here. Invert your knee and your toes down to the floor while you pinch your legs, like that, and then lock your legs. Now I'm facing perpendicular into his knee. This is a great position. I'm going to push down on the laces of his foot with my body and just shrug and pull his heel towards my head. All right? That's basically it.